Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman back for their 270 video, taking on some players here in a 5-player match. I see some familiar names and one of my biggest rivals, TMA. And so I'll have a close eye on RBG, but we've got Ronald Reagan, who's got big conservative. We have, wow, look at that bonus for RBG with a Jill Stein. That's going to be a massive women's movement. Wow, 70%. Wow. Okay, so here I thought I was a hot shot playing as Joe Jorgensen with a Julius Caesar vice president, which is a 70% gun lobby. Of course, gun lobby is only a 50K investment on turn number 1. I do go the full 100 to go 2 pips just in case. And we'll see how these other players go about it. Now, at the 5-player match, instead of a 4-player match, the board gets just that much crowded. And so you will see at least 1, if not 2 players hoard quite a bit of cash. Now, 1 player opened up in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. That's a very interesting and not recommended strategy. And it looks like Hillary Clinton might have 0 spent. Yes, so she could be looking at California and Texas. She could be looking at more likely California and New York. RBG did go 75K in women's movement, and so we'll be going to get the bonus on this turn. And there is, yes, it looks like a single pip in both California and New York for Hillary. A clash in New York that helps everybody. And there's the women's movement. We do put pressure on RBG. Likely not going to spend this turn. Just see what she does. But we have a bonus in the women's movement. Now, it's nowhere near 70 whopping %, but we're just going to 0 spend and just see exactly what happens with the board. I expected Reagan to possibly go in big conservative, but he is not. And so looking at the big 4, there are a couple people in Florida. Jeb finally makes a move. Jeb going into Illinois. Trevor Albers going live for the college basketball rankings. I will tune into the replay for that. I expect Eric York to be the number 1 seed. Javier Rodriguez and Jason Casey might make a move up the rankings. And I believe I'm 22-1 in that league. Shout out to Nicholas Sloan, who did beat me. I'm going to try to steal women's movement. It's turn number 4. The earlier I can get that bonus, the more likely I am to make use of it. It's really going to stink, though, because there could be a ballot probably as early as turn 8. And, I'm not even in any states yet. So this might not be that great of a strategy, but, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to sock it to TMA. Okay, so we have 474,000. Still have a pretty clean board. Texas, California. Texas being closer to Reagan, who could be working toward the manufacturing. Actually, 900K. Hillary could make a move for high tech this turn. She could go up 3 pips in New York and 2 in California. That'd be 850. Yep, there's 850 spent. So she did get the high tech bonus. No other bonuses are in play. We do have 800. Do I put any pressure in California? Do I go for these open states and make sure I get some EVs and hope someone else takes on Hillary maybe in New York? I think I'm gonna do a 0 spin. I just was kind of playing around with some numbers in oil and gas. There are enough empty states where I could possibly get the oil bonus if I were to get either of California or Texas, but I need more information. So let's see if Hillary is going to expand a little bit, maybe go for Latino with a Nevada and New Jersey. She does go Nevada. Looks like pink might be Jeb in New Jersey. She could be going for the town and gown bonus for Massachusetts and Utah, which would be good for defense in New York. It looks like TMA did expand into the Old South, possibly going after the African American bonus, but really those EVs. So let's put some pressure on California. So we're still sitting at a whopping 0 EVs. I can now claim California, and let's go ahead and go in some oil and gas states. So 1 pip Oklahoma, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and New Mexico. So that'll put me at $0 remaining. And here we are, turn number 8. Ohio is locked. But really, we don't have that many states locked. Now, that could change in an absolute hurry, especially with 5 players. But we're not in as bad shape as I thought we could be at this juncture. Hillary does lose her high-tech bonus. And now we have safely been the lead in California, and it's 55 electoral votes. That's a pretty good solid base. Now, if I can get the oil and gas bonus on this turn, then that would be even better. I possibly could open up into some high-tech states as well. I did prioritize getting into Louisiana, but states like Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, I may not get the bonus that way, especially with Pennsylvania already being on the 9th rung, but it is wise to get into those states now. Now, luckily, no clashes doesn't look like in the oil state, so there is the oil and gas bonus. We most likely will not have that for very long unless we defend. Hillary did low spin. She can't quite get me in California right now, but maybe I can just secure New Mexico. I do think that Colorado is very likely to be defended by Hillary, but what I'm going to do is actually attack Hillary. So let's see if we can get Colorado. I'm going to save a little bit of cash here. Hopefully we can keep the oil and gas bonus for a turn. Looks like a clash in Arkansas, no ballot. We do keep the oil bonus. There's the swing state bonus for Jeb. We did get Colorado. I'm going to go 1 pip up in California just to play it safe. And then I'm going to single pip into New York, Nevada, New Jersey, all these states that Hillary is in. She is hoarding quite a bit of cash. Maybe she goes for the big steal in California, and then we can take over her states, which would net us the high-tech and Latino. Is if we get New Jersey, no money spent in California, quite a few clashes. Oil does, we do lose oil, so now we just have the national groups left. Hillary has, let's see, high-tech, town and gown. She might defend New York here. There's not really a world where I spend in New York, but just seeing if I should spend maybe in California, go for the high-tech if I go for Washington. But that's maybe not enough. I would need Maryland, Virginia, Washington. Yeah, I can't get it without Pennsylvania or Michigan. So turn 12 is over. We're still in last place at 70 EVs, and there's the African American bonus for RBG, which is notable. RBG is in New York, and so, you know, that could be a state where we might have to look elsewhere. I'm going to go ahead and just pass Hillary in as many spots as possible here and hope for the best. New Hampshire, Arkansas, just get it in time. I did not spend $94,000. That will roll over, assuming that I don't lose California and don't lose the game. Hillary 0 spins. That's good for us. That means that she will be the one who is eliminated. So we do lose Louisiana and Maryland sealed. So might as well like skip ahead and see exactly what happens. See if we can get back to the playing field before the clock hits 0. Of course, on a 1-minute timer, time is of the essence. So need to get back here. We've only got 8 seconds, so I can go ahead and go to the 3rd pip in New York. I probably could have gone up in Massachusetts to get the town and gown bonus on this turn. However, I panicked, and so there's a big clash in Alabama that just helps us. There's the high-tech bonus. And so we can use that this turn to go ahead, and now we can go up in Massachusetts, not facing any pressure in California. New York is unattainable this turn for RBG, and so we're going to keep the high-tech bonus. Unfortunately, we did lose out of New Jersey to Jeb, so we will not get the Latino bonus unless we are able to get Texas, which we're not even in yet. Let me change that right now. And I do have the high-tech 55K, which we'll roll over, but I'm not in Connecticut. We did clash in Indiana, and we did get in Kentucky without a clash. So just in case I need some more EVs, I now have the town and gown bonus. So this northeast up here, Connecticut with a high-tech, finishing off New Hampshire, going into Rhode Island, District of Columbia, Missouri, Minnesota, Maine. These are all big states. I don't need to spend in California, like I said, or Washington or Massachusetts. So big bonus for us. I'm going to leave Arkansas alone, but we're going to roll over 560,000, plus we'll have some money from national groups. Reagan is still spending in oil just to make sure we don't steal it. We did clash with Jeb in New Hampshire, but that's going to bring us to a ballot round. So we're already to turn 17. Florida's been sealed off. New York, we can't lose at this turn. Going to pressure RBG. She's the one who's going to go out here. And when she does, we'll have ballot access in both Maryland and Virginia, which will be good. And Illinois, although Illinois, I think, probably will not go to us in the long run. That's the timer. We're gonna run $110,000 over, and we do secure Arkansas. And so with 144, that is safe to advance to the final three. We're gonna be down to Jeb Bush, and we're going to be down to Ronald Reagan. Reagan, of course, having the stronghold in Texas. Now, I may let Reagan, for a turn, dictate what's going to happen. I am going to defend New Hampshire just because Jeb keeps attacking that with his swing state money. There's not really much else he can use it for. I kind of want to spend in Washington, but I did not think of it in time. And I can always attack in Texas if I need to. But I do go into some of the open states just to, get us a foothold in those, like Georgia, South Carolina. I'm going to go to the second pip, and then I'm going to lock Virginia, lock New Hampshire, and then Washington as well. Jeb can attack me in Nevada, which would be fine. It's not worth it in New Mexico. I do have some of his town and gown money, which I'll use to lock Maine. And I have 1.26 million. I can go 4 pips past Ronald Reagan. Pretty sure he can block. I did not go past in Maryland, which I ran out of time. I maybe could have taken back 1 pip in Texas and gone up in Maryland. But we're going to let it roll here. Clash in Georgia. That's the end of turn 19. That's the end of Ronald Reagan. And so it is now heads up against the one and only Jeb Bush. So Joe Jorgensen, we're going to head into turn number 20 with Latino, oil and gas, high-tech ag, export, and town and gown. With the women's movement and the gun lobby bonus, that's a total of 8. And we are well over 270 with 303 electoral votes. I did enter into some states, not quite all of them. And we do have a low spend here from Jeb with actually a 0 spend. So let's see if he is still in the game or if he called it quits. With the timer staying at 0 and not letting me skip, that's a good indicator that he did forfeit. And there's the screen to verify it. So good game to Jeb Bush. Good game to TMA and all of the other players. It was fun to do a multiplayer with the 70% gun lobby with the Joe Jorgensen and the Julius Caesar combination. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next 270 video. Thanks for liking and subscribing, guys. You guys are the best.